Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is the week in review. Now, I want to stress that this edition is going to be a bit different because we did two matches from Clash at the Castle reactions. We did Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title, and Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. And those were the two most impressive looking matches to us as fans, and definitely very story laden. We are instead going to entirely focus on NXT, given that this week was mainly a go home week for Clash at the Castle, and you know that we are not primarily an AEW channel. Like sometimes I will ask Ashton if he's seen anything, and we'll talk a little bit, but we're just kind of done with that company. So this will be an NXT centric episode. Just want to preface that before we get into any deep conversations because some people may look forward to different things, and I understand that. With that said, I want to just start right out the gate with what I thought was one of the more important developments. We'll start with Battleground because honestly, up until today, I kept forgetting that we would talk about that as well, not just NXT this week post Battleground. Battleground was, I believe, Sunday night. Kalani Jordan, the first ever NXT Women's North American Champion. And I gotta be honest, I don't get it. I like Kalani. I think she has a lot of upside, but that's the keyword upside that I think you build to and realize. If you wanted it to go on a babyface, literally Sol Ruka had all the buildup, being the number one ranked in the combine to even qualify for this thing. Won her feud with Blair Davenport before all of that. I think she had all of the momentum. I don't know why you don't just pull the trigger there. And of course, Michin, always very endearing, a veteran on top of that, which gives immediate credibility to the championship. Kalani just feels like such a weird choice to me. And of course, always Lash Legend, or as Javaris always likes to call her, Mama. I don't know necessarily if she's a full-on baby face, but you could tell she's kind of straddling that line to me. I just feel like there were better options than Kalani, even kind of circumscribing those choices to who is a baby face. And this just decision utterly perplexes me. I don't really see her as a long reigning champion because I'll also kind of link up another big thing that happened. Lola Vice did beat Shayna Baszler in NXT Underground. Bro, I'm going to put these two together and say, I think Kalani's a transitional champion. I think the first real champion to get that belt off the ground will be Lola Vice. What are all of your thoughts about one, our inaugural champion, and two, how the NXT Women's North American Championship picture looks and just everything? How are you feeling about it, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head. I fully agree. I think that they wanted to feature Lola heavily in a singles match at the UFC Apex Arena, which is why she wasn't in the ladder match in the first place. And yet, I also do agree with you that they wanted her to be sort of a big time North American Women's Champion as well. So they kind of wanted to have their cake and eat it too. So rather than making a decision on who to put the North American title on based on who would make for the best champion, they chose the first North American champion based on who would be the best woman for Lola to beat for the title. And I think that they are still very much interested in protecting Sol Ruka. I still think Mia might have been a better choice because, like, if Lola is already kind of going on a streak of beating main roster women, she beat Natty, she beat Shayna. Why not just add Michin to the list? I do think that they might have just given it to Kalani for the sake of like, let's have sort of a white bread babyface win the title as like the inaugural champion because WWE does trend towards that. They like to have inaugural champions be the sort of milk toast baby faces. Um, and then we also gave it to like the lowest power level in the match, so that Lola beating her is like super believable, and then we can just make that transition real easy and real quick. Lola beats her on her first try.
Yeah. I do agree with you, actually. I think you make a salient point that Michin still would have been a great choice given that Lola is already kind of mixing it up with veterans. I wonder if there's like a disparity in how Shawn Michaels views her, which is clearly very highly, and how Triple H kind of views her from afar right now. Because I do wonder if Lola will be one of those people that is just successful both on NXT and on the main roster, or if she's going to be one of those people, oddly enough, like Shayna, who seemingly
Right.
shines so much more on NXT and then the main roster. It's like, okay, well,
Dude, the weirdest thing about Shayna is that she was successful in Triple H's NXT, and now Triple H is booking the main roster, and she's still booked like shit under
I
his
don't get it,
nose.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really I don't get it because I was even thinking the same thing. Um, but yeah, I mean that's the big thing there. I guess if we agree, there's really not much conversation there. Um, what else out of Battleground? I'll let you if you have anything you want to talk about. What else out of Battleground was kind of on your mind? Do you have anything? Because I mean, obviously, I think the Women's North American Championship was one of the bigger things. But if you have anything you wanted to share as well, I'd be curious to hear it.
Well, I mean, I would say the sort of like, let's barely even touch on this. We might as well just kind of brush over it to make sure that we touch on it. Thing is the tag titles. Frazier and
Oh
Axiom
god,
retained.
yeah, dude, I got nothing to say except it's on dweebs. I hate the NXT tag division right now. So that's yeah.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate too because like all this match ended up being for was like increasing the credibility of the tag champs and the titles, and like I don't think anyone really was asking for Nathan Frazier and Axiom to be more credible. Like
Yeah.
I don't think anyone asked for that. It's like this did nothing but make them look more credible and like bigger baby faces, and like yeah, no one's asking for that, I don't think. Um so I guess we'll see. Do you have anyone in mind for who beats them for the titles? Because like I have a worst case scenario in mind, and I don't really know if anyone else is like lining up.
I'm still hoping it's and I hope I get this right because they're still relatively new, but and I really like them. I still hope
Tyson and
it's a
Tyreek,
Tyson and Tyreek. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, but they're baby faces, so
Well,
I
not
don't
only that,
know.
but they literally lost to the OC, who just lost to Frazier and Axiom.
I know. Yeah, dude, I really I couldn't tell you.
See, this is why I
Just
say
yeah.
worst case scenario, Gallus again.
Oh boy. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Yeah, I concede. That's probably it.
Yeah,
I
but
hate the fucking NXT. Dude, the NXT tag division used to be one of my favorite divisions, like in the black and
yeah,
gold era. And
well,
like,
yeah, when it was like
Jesus.
Alpha Academy and like Blurfy and Gargano and Champa or DIY and the Vaudevillains, and even like not as much, but even when like AOP were there, and especially like the Revival when they were there, like that tag division was fire. And I feel like I even might have made a Facebook post at one point being like, guys, we are living in a special era of tag team wrestling. We need to enjoy it while we have it because it's not going to last that long. And boy, oh boy, did I nail on the head that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So screw those guys. You know who I'll never say to go screw off though is our North American champion.
Dude, I feel like this was the show where if he had any doubters left, if he had anyone left that was like, yeah, he was all right, but like he's still green or whatever, this was the show where he was like, oh, I'm green, am I? Okay, yeah, bet.
Bro, you just said things that you had said that you're like, well, I was right, so I might as well say it again. This is gonna be me doing that thing because I literally said in Discord he could be world champion anytime he wants, and ain't a damn soul gonna complain about it.
Yeah,
I have honestly, and I know this is borderline hyperbole, but you know what? I'm me, and I stand by it. Unironically, I have never seen a more complete pro wrestler, either in my entire fandom or damn close.
yeah,
The idea that this dude is already this good that you could put the NXT championship on him tomorrow, and I love you, Trick, I do, but Oba Femi is coming for every like the more I watch this dude, the more I realize that we might be characters in the greatest novel of all time because you think so and so is the main character, but it was really Obafemi the whole time. Like this dude is gonna snatch everything from everyone, and I honestly love it. Look, I have said time and time again, especially in the last batch of in review episodes, I have said that black wrestling fans, I can taste your vindication for you. You are this close to a top guy, not just a world champion, because we crossed that threshold fucking thankfully, but a top guy. And Obafemi may just be that torchbearer because who the hell is going to take the fire away from him?
Yeah. And then, dude,
Anybody.
at this point, I really feel like he needs to pull a Keith Lee. He needs to beat Trick for the world title as a North American champion and just relinquish the North American title as World Tier champion.
You know what? I agree with you, but man, if he isn't flexing, like if I'm him, I'm flexing so hard. And I'm just thinking, like, make that North American title the top title because of the man holding it. Because I'm sorry again, I don't want to be blasphemous. I don't want our chat coming for me. You know, I got nothing but love for all y'all. I think Trick is great, and I do think Trick is a future WrestleMania main eventer, all of that. But there is something about Oba. We've talked about it before, right? Over the years. Oba to me more than Trick, my opinion. I really am trying to give myself all the coverage here. He has that X factor, man, that I don't know if Trick has. I look at
Well, dude, the
Oba,
thing with Trick
yeah,
is like Trick has all of the physical charisma in the world. Like he's got presence for days, and he's a freak athlete, and he's good at like pretty much all the same stuff that Bianca was good at in the ring when she first got here. And like he still has to work on the selling and stuff like that, just like she did when she first got here, which tells me that he's gonna get really fucking good because she did, and he has an amazing work ethic just like she did. So like as long as he just kind of follows along that same path, he's gonna be great as far as that goes. The problem is his promos are just not good. I just can't. Like I want to like Trick, and that's the reason that he gets cheered when he cuts promos because the crowd wants to like him too. But like Ethan Page, who is not a good promo, was made to look like a good promo by Trick Williams because Trick is just that subpar on the mic.
yeah. I hate to concede it, but dude, when you compare it to Oba's talking style, because he doesn't
Dude,
talk long, but he talks memorably. And that's
yes.
the
The
thing, right?
sound bites.
Dude, what did he say leading up to Battleground? You know, this is my house, and in this place, the house always wins because they were in Vegas. And I'm
Yeah.
like, every fucking time with
Yeah.
this fucking
And
dude,
the thing is, well,
he,
that's the thing with
yeah,
Oba too, is like he's probably not coming up with his own stuff, but he doesn't have to because he's so fucking easy to write for.
dude, and his delivery, come on now.
Well, yeah,
Like,
and
that,
that's the big
yeah,
thing too, is like when you're easy to write for and you have killer delivery the way Oba does, because his confidence just oozes through that mic. And the crowd is into it. Like, yeah, Oba, like, just send it, bro. Just send it.
bro, I'm so glad you used such a simple word in confidence because that's really what it is. This dude believes in himself so much.
And he's
You
earned
are
the right.
dude, like that's what I love. All these people, all these fucking prima donnas, like in past locker rooms, and I'm sure even some in present locker rooms, like, oh yeah, I'm a main event guy. No, motherfucker, you tweet about it. This dude goes out and he earns it. Like I am telling you all, like I've gone back when you talk about like, did we do any extracurriculars? And I never say anything because either I forget or it doesn't really stick or whatever. I've gone back and I've watched like '02, like the rookie year of Brock Lesnar,
Yeah.
and even some of Kurt Angle. And yeah, they were both impressive. And I'm not trying to say that Opa's got the jump on those guys, but to me,
He
he's got that
does.
same aura.
Dude, he
He's got,
does, though.
yeah,
Oba is if Brock could talk.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm starting to believe too, dude. 100%.
Oba is a bigger version of Brock who can talk for himself, who doesn't need a Paul Heyman.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Dude.
I have to emphasize a bigger version of Brock because Brock was like the most he was ever billed at was like 6'3". Oba's 6'5".
Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna take my shot right now. I'm not saying this is happening. This is just purely conjecture
Oh,
and us just
I'm getting
fanning the fuck
butterflies
out.
because I feel like we might have a similar prediction here. I want to hear it.
I
Let's go.
I doubt that very much, but I'm just saying broad strokes. You call this dude up to the main roster. I want him to get the Finn Balor rub or his first major pay-per-view. He wins the world title.
Okay,
Like I
that's
like
not my exact prediction,
yeah.
but I think that your prediction could lead to mine. My prediction being Obafemi breaks Cena's record.
Wow.
Obafemi
That's
breaks the
wild.
Cena record, the most, or I think it's like the Cena slash Flair record now, because it was Flair's and then Cena tied it. So
Yeah,
the 16 world titles though, Oba breaks that.
yeah. He might. He might because I mean,
It's going to be harder in the Triple H era because Triple H loves his long title reigns, but I believe it, man. He's so young. He's younger. I think I could be wrong. I think he's around the same age that Cena was when he started.
yeah. I'm dude. He just again, this is what I said earlier. Like your word was confidence. My word out the gate was completeness. He just
Yeah.
feels like such a complete performer already. I'm like, get him on a Raw or SmackDown. See how people are vibing with him, and I swear to
I
God,
mean, it would
everyone will
have to be
start going over
SmackDown
him.
at this point because if he goes on Raw, he's going to derail all of Braun Breaker's momentum completely.
That is true. Like, I even hate to give that to you because you know how much I love Braun Breaker, but you're right. Like, you're right. Like, I look at this dude, and that's why I said he's gonna snatch everything from everybody. Dude, I'm telling you, I know we're really getting drunk on that, but you know what? I like it. I feel good right now. I
Yeah.
feel great right now
Yeah,
talking
like I
about
feel
Obafemi.
like even just having Braun Strowman doing like the runaway train stuff is kind of
Yeah,
taking away a little bit from Braun Breaker. I personally want those guys to team up and just run roughshod. I want Braun and
yeah,
Braun, the Braun Patrol or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I want
yeah.
those guys to team up and win tag gold or whatever. But like you put Obo on that show, he overshadows both of them in my opinion.
Oh, dude, 100%. And what
But
I
there's
was
no
leading
one
up to
like
yeah,
that on SmackDown. There isn't
no.
like a big giant monster type on SmackDown at all. And like you could immediately put him against Cody and I would be rooting for him to win. And if he would win, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I would be like, you're goddamn right.
Do you know the Ron Swanson giggles that would emit from my fucking throat when Roman Reigns and Obafemi have their first stare down? Like,
Yeah.
that is not only is that a license to print money, that's the whole goddamn reserve, okay? Like, and when I was leading up to earlier when I said we're really drunk on talking about Obafemi right now, but I love the feeling and I'm not apologizing for it. You want an NXT guy to win a fucking Rumble? Imagine, dude.
Dude.
Imagine, dude. Imagine, dude.
Dude, dude, and
Obafemi
imagine Gunther is the Raw champion when Oba wins. Oba versus Gunther at WrestleMania. Holy
Hey,
fuck.
Javaris, I want to check in and ask about the chub that you're working with about all those meaty men
Yeah.
slapping fucking meat, because
Thick,
I'm about ready to take
raw
all of us fucking
meat.
camping. Jesus Christ. Dude, if any NXT guy would do it, when I tell you I would lose my fucking mind about
Dude,
Oba, and I don't know if an NXT guy will ever do it, but I will say this, Oba should be in the 2025 Royal Rumble, and
Final
at
Four.
the very least, should make the final four or
Mm-hmm.
three. Because you want to make a guy,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
people,
the
yeah,
only guys that you can really believe eliminating him at that point are like Orton, Drew, like the other big guys. Like you're not gonna believe like a fucking CM Punk eliminating a fucking Ultra Chat like fucking Obafemi. Jesus Christ.
dude. CM Punk would even touch that dude. His whole arm that he touched him with would fucking disintegrate. Get that horse shit out of my face.
It's like it's like that fucking Rick and Morty episode where they're in the White House and Rick's surrounded and he's like, if any of your men touch me, they're gonna die. Nothing I can do about it. The one dude does and he just collapses. That, but Oba is Rick and the other guy that touches him and dies is CM Punk.
Dude, I love that. Like, I honestly, when we got on here, I'm like, oh, talking about NXT. God, I don't really want to do that. But like, this just shows that Obafemi, I guarantee you, one of these days when he's on the main roster, in fact, I think he already has just on NXT. I know for a fact, actually, I think he's made number one on your Fave 5 for NXT a couple times.
Yeah,
Like,
already.
this this dude, I will say this.
I think he's been wrestling on NXT, and I have to emphasize on NXT because I'm sure he was on Level Up before this. But I think he's only been wrestling on NXT for less than a year now. Like I'm pretty sure he's technically a rookie when it comes to NXT.
Yeah,
Because we've got to
yeah.
remember he won the
The
breakout
breakout
tournament
tournament.
like in October, I think,
Yeah.
and just immediately won the NA title and has just been on the run of a lifetime ever since. Like he's that new.
It really is astounding when you could put this guy in the same breath, if not above, other North American champions like Adam Cole and others who and a Keith Lee and stuff who really made that belt something. He
Yeah.
is making that title his own. I
Hmm.
don't wanna leave. I wanna keep talking about Oba the whole show because,
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, everyone else.
I feel like I
You're
want to
not
like
him.
go on YouTube and just search for like people's reactions to maybe like early Obafemi stuff and just see how people react to him then, and then like search up those same people and like see if they've become as big of fans of him as we have. You know what I'm like, more like recent
Yeah.
stuff, like see maybe like their reactions to the triple threat one this past Sunday, and like see if they were freaking out like we were. Because like to me, it was the match of the show by far, even
Oh,
despite Joe Coffey's existence in it.
and dude, because there was one other person, and I've got to praise somebody else because I swear to God, my jaw's hurting from worshiping Obafemi so hard. Uh, Wesley, him versus Wesley one on one without any fucking coffee in it. And again, that's why I made the joke about decaf the last few times.
Yeah,
Heat Wave is gonna slap. Heat
I
Wave is
hope that
gonna be
that's the match
fucking
we get.
amazing. Yeah, you and me both. You and me both, because that'll be Oba's finest hour, and it may be Wes's finest hour too.
I'm still miffed that we never got Oba versus Dijak one on one, man. That pisses me off.
Dude, they robbed us. They robbed us so hard. But you know what? This dude is such a, to use Javaris's phrase, because I love it. And I'll just, yeah, fucking demigod Chad, Obafemi. He didn't even lose sweep over it. He's like, okay, you give me this shitter and you give me this fucking workhorse, and I'll still make magic happen. Hell, give me the shitter one on one, and I'll give him the best match he ever had. He doesn't deserve the privilege,
No,
but I'll do it. And then you give me this fucking workhorse at Heatwave, I will give you the best NXT match of the goddamn year because I believe they can do it. Dude,
dude, I
I
feel like
am not.
once he does
Yeah,
get past Wes, I hate this, and I'm only saying this because it's just a gut feeling that I have. I feel like they're gonna build up Eddie Thorpe to challenge him, and it's gonna be such a waste of Oba's talents. But I really do feel like they're the way that they've been featuring Eddie Thorpe in these like vignettes, and he free wrestled on NXT this week, and like they're I feel like they're gonna build him up to challenge Oba this year, like probably in like September, October, somewhere right, like in the fall, basically. It's gonna be Eddie Thorpe's gonna challenge him, and it's gonna suck. I
bro,
honestly wouldn't be surprised if all of the shitters who won on NXT this week were eventual Oba opponents, because I think it was Eddie, Sean Spears, and Lexis King all won matches on NXT this week, and it was painful. It was awful.
you know what, bro? I share your lamentations, and I think this is again because of how inebriated I am on Oba greatness. But I am seeing the fucking Matrix right now, and I am just thinking that he's like, you know what? Send me your shitters. Send me your shitters because I am gonna keep being the attraction because I am the attraction in every feud I'm in. And that flex is what makes careers. I am loving this individual title reign, but I am thinking that this dude he's just going to be a legend. I'm really, really hoping because I've said that about young prospects before. I will never forget in the days of early TWitWoW when I heaped all that praise on Paige, and that was not a good moment for me. That did not age well at all.
Hey, you
So
know
I'm,
what
I'm
though, dude?
yeah,
To be fair, we didn't know about her character back then, and she was an extremely, extremely young prospect who was far ahead of her years. So we didn't have
yeah,
any reason not to believe that she would be a fucking Hall of Famer at some point.
yeah. But I don't know. I don't know Oba. I ain't trying to do that parasocial bullshit, but he just comes off as a guy that wants it. That's so disciplined. That's like, I'm taking this business and I'm making my money. I hate capitalism with a passion, but if I ever rooted for somebody to get rich, it's this fucking dude. Get your fucking bag, my man. For real. No, for real, because wrestling, it'll kill you. You know, it's hell on the body and the mind. If Oba can endure and he can thrive, get your motherfucking bag, King. For real. Somebody's got to win in this fucking hellscape. Might as well be him. Love this dude. Proud of Wesley too. I do want to give him his ups for his share of the performance. I'm looking forward to that one-on-one match. Mercifully though, we've got, and regrettably from where I sit, we do have to move on. We need a whole show devoted to Oba. I would show up every week with
The
this exact
Oba
energy.
Femi Appreciation Hour.
Don't tell me y'all wouldn't subscribe to that. Don't lie to yourselves. So
Everyone's invited. Just come and pay your respects to the king,
because don't worry, I'll come again and again
the
and again
God
when it comes to
King.
talking about Obafemi.
Good
All right.
old God.
All right. I gotta be honest, man. Since I feel like I've got so much energy right now and I'm buzzing because we just talked about one of the greatest things on NXT, if not the business. You know I love Roxanne Perez right now. You know I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all about
Oh my
her.
God, yeah.
I have gone on
And
Twitter.
she
I've
had
also
a
said
pretty fucking fantastic showing against Jordan Grace on Sunday too.
she did. She did. I just, much like you with Oba, I am starting to worry a bit about this title reign. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't be because Julia is the obvious answer, but I still don't know where Julia kind of fits in all this. I'm hoping she makes Heat Wave, because you
Apparently,
know that.
Julia did post a recent video of herself with no cast. So
Yeah, yeah. I actually thought that this match was pretty good. I will say, I think I hyped myself up a
you
little too
sound,
much for it.
yeah, I was gonna say you sound like you were let down by it. Like I feel like you enjoyed Roxanne Lyra infinitely more.
Oh, yeah, and you know what, dude? I'm so glad you said that because if this match taught me anything, much like what Utami and Shuri taught me when Shuri won the title, it's that I'm still a huge Roxanne fan, but I didn't realize how big of a Lyra fan I am because
Yeah, Lyra kicked that
yeah,
kick, dude. She is still killing it on Raw with Io, man. They have been killing it in their matches.
I love them both. I'm so happy that they're cooking women's wrestling is everything. Um, No, I'm telling you, I want some motherfucker to give me an Iron Man or Iron Woman match. I wanted it with Chad and Sammy. Now give it to me with these two fucking workers. I want it. I want these people to go the distance. Please, for the love of God, give it to me. But yeah, no, this match was good. This match was nowhere near bad or anything like that. I just think I got in my own head so much about it. But you know what? I'm staying in my head about Julia Roxanne. That match is gonna feed fucking families, not as much as Utami versus Io. Let's get that right. But I mean, it's gonna eat. It's gonna do everything. Um, Foster, I do not blame you. I do not. Lyra is fantastic. I'm still pissed that her and Tatum got cut in my mind a bit short because that still is a fascinating relationship to me. Apparently, Lyra even like quote tweeted somebody that showed her that Tatum is still using her locker in NXT.
Yes,
And she was like rude. And then Tatum quote tweeted that reply and said, "It still smells like you. It's nice." And I'm like,
yes,
you are the creep that I aspired to be,
dude.
Queen. Yes.
Here's something you might not have known. Uh, TNA had a pay per view last night where Jordan had an open challenge, and Tatum did in fact answer the open challenge.
I love it. I love it
Yeah,
because
Tatum Paxley. They even acknowledged like NXT's Tatum Paxley. They acknowledged that on commentary.
bro,
Unfortunately, I think it was fucking Josh Matthews on commentary, which is like ew. But regardless,
God. Dude, I okay. I don't want to take us too far afield, and I worry about that because I mean, you've all seen me, you know what I'm about. But I have to say, yeah, I don't have to explain anymore. You guys know. I is it just me? And I could be being an asshole, and that is totally fair.
oh,
But is WWE just kind of flexing so hard on AEW right now about how relationships are supposed to work? Because like AEW has got Stardom, which should be like a huge fucking thing for them. But I don't see how Stardom benefits because all of
oh,
your
they don't.
AEW women, by and large, are like shitters.
Yeah, no, they
Like,
don't. They don't benefit. I guess the only real way that Stardom benefits from the AEW relationship is their performers get a bigger platform. That's it.
yeah, yeah. I I just see, but I could very easily say the same thing for the WWE relationship, though, and I should be fair about that. We always try and keep it consistent. I want to see numbers, man. I want to see crossover numbers. Like how many people hearing about EO challenging Utami are getting Wrestle Universe subscriptions at least for that show? How many people have checked out Stardom World after a Stardom woman has appeared on AEW? Like because
Yeah, that would be really interesting because
yeah,
we've. It's funny because we've heard about stuff like that with hindsight. Like we've heard like, oh, actually no, dude. Oh, what was the number that I just saw? I feel like I just saw something about um, Gold selling tickets. Here it is. Following the announcement of WWE's Io Sky competing at Gold Summer Destiny 2024, the promotion sold almost 1,000 tickets for the show on that day, per Wrestling Observer.
yeah.
So Io just being announced for the show, immediately, boom, almost 1,000 tickets sold day of.
But I mean, like, say what you will about the Triple H era, and we've certainly had our critiques, but like, what a fucking flex.
Dude, right?
Okay,
Because,
have
dude,
fun
that's the
with
thing too.
Stardom.
Is like we didn't
Yeah.
hear anything about it last night, which makes sense because Io's not on SmackDown anymore. But what I want to know is, come Raw, if slash when Io is on Raw this coming week, Are they going to mention it? Are they going to mention Utami? Are they going to mention Muddy Gold? Are they going to mention it at all? I need to know because I think they will. I really do because
I think they will too,
because
dude.
like
Yeah.
NXT has been mentioning TNA a lot. They talk about Jordan being the Knockouts champ, all that stuff. I think they're going to mention it. I don't know if they're going to mention Muddy Gold, but I mean they mentioned Noah and they mentioned the Great Muta when Nakamura wrestled for them, right?
Yeah, yeah, they did, and plus, I mean, Rossi was at WrestleMania, dude. Triple H has clearly got a nice
Yeah.
working relationship right now with Rossi.
Well, and
This is gonna be
apparently, I don't know if it was Triple H, but apparently WWE were the ones that encouraged Rossi to do Money Gold. Basically, like they were like in his
yeah,
ear while he was working in Stardom, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can do this. We'll support you. Like get out, do your own thing. We've got your backs."
dude, and dude, here's the thing, to Triple H's credit, at least for the moment, they told the truth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they're giving you freaking Io Sky,
yeah.
and they're probably gonna promote your match on their
Well,
platform.
and here's the other thing too. I don't know if EO is the end of it. I don't know if EO is the only one because I've heard that Kyrie might show up on that show as well. It just hasn't been announced yet.
And bro, think about what a get this is for Triple H because if he really believed in somebody but was like, you know what, I want them just a bit more seasoned before we really go off to the races, let them have a tenure in Motor Gold for like a
Yeah.
month or two.
I mean, dude,
Like,
he's probably getting Zeta Steel out of this. Let's be real.
dude, he played
It
fucking
wouldn't
chess and
surprise me if he got Bozilla out of this. Let's be real.
bro, he's playing chess. Meanwhile, Tony Khan hasn't gotten Connect Four out of the damn box. Like, what are you doing, my dude? Like, it's two completely different games being played, 100%. And like,
Oh yeah, that's the
yeah,
other thing. Javaris is right. Bailey actually said at some kind of like presser over the weekend that she wants to work Monty Gold. Like she
yeah.
literally said in like an interview or something, I would love to do something like that. Monty Gold. Rossi, I'm down. Let me know. I've wrestled a couple times in Japan, but with WWE. I got invited to go to Japan right before I signed, but I couldn't do it. Yeah, Bailey wants to work Money Gold. Like she said it explicitly in an interview. Like that's incredible to me.
And bro, maybe I'm out of pocket here because again, we're just flying high right now, and I love it. I don't want to touch ground, but like I feel like you could even see Utami on an NXT episode one of these days because she
Oh my
trained with
god,
Shayna.
yeah.
She has that shocking Baszler move. Like,
Yep.
just this is going to be so beneficial to both parties. And I look at the AEW relationship, and I just see that as so one sided as only benefiting AEW.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this seems to be
Tony Khan is that dude that will go up to an artist and be like, "Hey, if you do this commission for me, I'll get you a bunch of exposure."
yeah, yeah,
He
exactly.
pays in exposure rather than actually paying fucking money, which is the thing that artists need the most.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's
dude,
like
here's
that
the
joke
thing.
about like indie wrestlers getting paid in a hot dog and a handshake, except he's a literal billionaire.
Yes, yes, exactly. And dude, here's the thing. On Battleground, the TNA talent outside of Jordan, it was Ash by Elegance, which is kind of a cheat because that was formerly Dana Brooke. But we already know the determined tricks contender next
Yes.
Tuesday. It's gonna be a battle royal with people from other locker rooms. I'm thinking
Yep.
Joe Hendry's gonna be in that battle royal, and God knows who else.
I mean, dude, I'm wondering if it's going to be more than just TNA people, honestly, because like the TNA people alone are going to make it exciting. But I almost have to wonder if we're going to get other like maybe Noah wrestlers,
Dude,
because we've
if that
heard about
happens,
Nakajima wanting to do it.
yeah.
Is Nakajima in All Japan now?
I thought Kojima left All Japan. I thought he. Oh
I
no, no,
thought
no, no,
no,
no,
he
because he
left
was
Noah.
Noah. No, no, I'm sorry. I got my wires crossed for a
Oh
second.
no,
He
he's a
might be.
freelancer. He's a freelancer. So like, you never
Oh,
know
okay.
who's going to show up.
Yeah. No, you don't. You really don't.
Tim Thatcher might show up. He's a former NXT guy.
Yeah, that's
And
true. That
he's
would be
probably going to
another
be in
like.
the US anyway because they're doing a blood sport show and he's going to be wrestling I think Suzuki or something. I don't know. He's got a big match against a Japanese guy. I forget.
Yeah, dude. They're just doing everything, and I love it. I love it.
What's the
That.
name of the guy that trained Shayna again? I forget.
Oh. Oh. It wasn't. It wasn't Josh Barnett, was it?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Dude, this is crazy. I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking like, wow. they're really gonna be able to and even Julia, like, because 'cause we've said that Julia seems like she regrets, like, "Oh,
Yeah,
man, I
dude.
wish I
I'm
would."
sorry for cutting you
Yeah,
off, but I was right. It is Thatcher versus Minoru Suzuki. That's happening on the upcoming Josh Barnett's Bloodsport Bushido show. That's on June 22nd on Triller TV.
it's amazing that hearing Suzuki still in a matchup still gives me tingles because he's just that fucking good.
Yeah, guess
My
who's
god.
main eventing that show?
Who is?
Uh, Josh Barnett versus John Moxley.
Oh, okay, okay, interesting. Alright.
And
But
and
yeah,
by the way, for those of you that don't know, and I'm mostly talking to my mom right now, Bloodsport is basically like what we saw in NXT Underground. It's shoot fight style wrestling.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I mean, we even talked about how Julia seemed to regret like not being like more full time, more committed to Marigold, but I don't even know if that's gonna matter. Like I just feel like
Yeah.
it's just yeah, they're just gonna keep doing these talent exchanges, and it's like okay, because when Julia wins the NXT Women's Championship, I could see her showing up on a Marigold show. Maybe even dude, can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine? Julia, and I say Julia because as much as I would love that for Roxanne, I just don't see it. Julia going to a Monday Gold show to defend the NXT Women's Championship, maybe against like an Ishikawa or some shit or something. Like
I mean,
the
against
possibilities are endless,
Utami,
man.
right?
Yeah, against Utah, like dude, the possibilities are fucking endless,
Dude,
bro. They yeah,
imagine we get Julia versus Kairi at Money Gold
dude,
for the NXT Women's Championship.
what the fuck?
I mean, you want to talk about a forbidden door, right? Like, holy shit.
Meanwhile, oh, let's see who Stardom got, everybody. Oh, Anna Jay challenging for the Wonder Belt. Oh my god, that's so riveting. That's so great
Wait,
for
they
them.
fucking put it on her? What the fuck are you doing, Bushi Road?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah. I'm just so happy. This is a really fun match. Happy that Tatum got to show up on the end because I do like Tatum. I know that's kind of a minority opinion here. But yeah, I think she's great. This is a fun match. Nothing really more to say than that.
Yep.
And yeah, let us. Oh yeah, and then the main event of Battleground
Trick
was Trick
Ethan.
Ethan. Honestly, not as bad a match as I thought it would be. Just happy the Trick won. That's really all I cared
That
about.
exactly. Exact same sentiment. It's just like match, whatever, trick one, thank Christ. Moving on.
Exactly. And moving on, we go to this NXT, which admittedly I really wasn't that attentive to. I watched some clips. So Kalani addressed the fans first. We already kind of talked about the women's North American Championship, so we can kind of pass over that.
Yeah.
Michin gives Jada Parker her first loss. That was interesting to me.
Yeah, if she had to lose to anyone, right? It would make sense that it would be a main roster mainstay.
Yes. Yes, I do agree with that. I will say that I am a bit confused again by Gallows and Anderson just supporting her because I have no idea what's going on with the
Oh
OC right
yeah,
now.
that's right. That was weird because Michin is like the clear-cut baby face here, and it felt kind of cheaty the way she won.
Yeah. Maybe Michin's like, you know what? I don't care anymore about doing things the right way. I just want the right result, which is me as a champion. Um, so yeah, we got Jada Parker following up, like telling her OTM teammates that, like, oh, you know, I blame Gallows and Anderson for this. And that she promises she's gonna run Mishin's ass out of NXT. I do think though, looking at the bigger picture, because wins and losses, you know, don't matter. It's how you're built. If this gives Jada the rub that she needs, you know, great. I'm curious to see where this goes.
I really like
We had
Jada, man. I think she's a really strong prospect. I want to see her do some stuff.
yeah, yeah,
A feud with
absolutely.
Michin and like a six-person feud of OTM versus the OC, including the women. I'm down.
Agreed. Agreed. I absolutely absolutely think that that would be cool.
Yeah.
We had Gallus in six-man action against
Oh,
Wesley and
dude.
I think
New Cash
no
Republic.
yeah. So we're just gonna fuck Gallus.
I mean, you
They did
say that, but to be clear, Joe Coffey pinned Wesley in this match.
oh I it's not you. I just hated everything about that sentence.
So did I, and it came out of my mouth. Imagine how that must taste.
you want me to carry the next segment so you can brush your teeth or like clean your mouth out?
I would
That's
love that.
horrible.
Yes.
You know what I loved, friend?
Wendy
I
Choo.
love Yes, I love the new Wendy Chu. Oh man. You know, I gotta say, I saw the one vignette before all this went down, and I thought it might lead to like obviously I didn't envision exactly this, but I thought maybe like a darker tone because at first it was like the slippers and kids, and I'm like, oh, Wendy Chu, I'm so glad she's okay. And then the way the glass broke to end the vignette, and it's like, "Oh, is this gimmick being shattered? Are we doing a new thing?" But no, no, we're doing the gimmick. It's just dark because now it's nighty night time for everyone else.
Dude,
And then,
oh
you
my
know, so
god, was it a cackle?
it was a cackle slash evil laugh kind of thing,
I loved that. I loved the build up to it.
Yeah, so, I will say again, we're in a very, very interesting landscape because I love this Wendy Chu, and obviously when I'm a fan of somebody, I tell my rationality, "Listen, listen, I got this," and then they're like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I got this," and they're like, "Are you sure though?" And I'm like, "I got this." So I want this woman to be a women's North American champion. I just don't know though because again, Lola Vice, I feel like it's just being primed for that shit. But I love this. I mean, she handled business against Brinley Reese, took her the fuck out. Hey, where's your positivity now? Because I'm positive you just got your ass whooped.
I feel
This
like
was
Brindley Reese and this new Carly Bright girl that's getting vignettes should be a tag team. They meld, they mesh really well.
you know what? You are so right. Um, God, how mean am I feeling right now? Because I definitely tell that I'm turning up.
Oh, I want
Uh,
you at your meanest. Please
I
say it.
just I mean, if Carly's bright, then I've never preferred the lights off more in my life because that
Oh,
that is just she is I hate the vignettes. I hate the
yeah.
character. I don't know how you managed to be a worse Alexa Bliss, but Carly Bright was like, "Don't worry, life finds a way." And it's just been really, really deadening every vignette because I feel a small piece of me that's like, women's wrestling's on top. Women's wrestling's a draw. We should invest more in this. And you do invest, but it couldn't be any more in the wrong direction. But you know what, though? It's okay. It's okay. Because I mean, you can only do so much win that I almost think you have to take an L to humble yourself. And Carly Bright is that L. Um,
There's
so
literally an L in her first name. Carly Bright.
yeah, it wasn't an accident. The universe was literally letting us know, "Hey, hey, you see this woman? Gonna bring nothing to the table." Um,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
yeah, hey,
Dude, you know what though? I gotta say, like, her vignettes almost give like uncanny vibes. It's weird, honestly. Like I even like wrote out like a heel vibe promo for her to cut or like a almost like a script for the vignette where she's like I was a cheerleader and I like basically somehow like lost. She like some some gimmick where like she got kicked out of cheerleading for some reason and so now she's doing this garbage sport and like the idea that like she doesn't want to be a wrestler but she's being forced to wrestle because it's like the thing that her cheerleading skills translate best to and she needs to make money somehow and like she's gonna use wrestling to get the cheerleading world to want her back like that to me that translates to a way more interesting character than whatever the fuck this is.
well, I'm gonna tell you because Foster even said, "So if when John turns around on Carly, this will be a fun thing to listen back to." You know what, Foster? You're right to say that to me. You are right to say that to me, given my history. I'm not even gonna hate. Plus, it came from your face. I could never hate it, even if it was unironically evil. I'd be like, "How do we
Oh
get Foster back?" But I will say this, just being completely serious. The best shot you have for me to make this work. Do you remember Ashton when I told you about that tweet that I saw that like shared a TikTok of a woman that you could tell she never mentally left high school? That needs to be the Carly Bright character. I
yeah.
need this woman to stay in her glory years of cheerleading. I need somebody to go for a forearm and she puts her hand out like the stop motion. Stop. Ready? Okay. And she does like a cheer in the middle of the ring, and the person just looks so confused, and then they slap her. And then Carly just looks at her like, oh, and then like leaves the ring. Like, what the hell was I didn't cheer, you jerk, and then just leaves. Like,
See,
I
I feel
I
like you're
need
almost leaning
yeah,
into Ariana Grace energy at that point.
almost. But see, the thing is, I think Ariana knows what this business is. She just wants it to be better. I just want Carly to not have a clue and just be stuck somewhere else. Like, 'Cause Ariana, what makes her so endearing is that I think she knows it's pro wrestling. By the way, I do not forgive the family for that hit that they tried to put our Ariana with that fucking chalkboard. We all saw it. We
Dude.
all saw it, Stacks.
Yeah, it was clear. I mean, Stax was literally
Yeah,
right there. Of course, he never even left the scene of the crime. He was right there.
I love how you join me on the indictment, but not before popping first. It's like, yeah, we found the murder weapon. I can't believe you murdered him with a can of whipped cream. But anyway, no, you're going to jail. It's over. It's in the car. But yeah, no, Stags, you're unbelievable, my guy. I can't believe you would try and do that. But no, I think with Carly.
Also, by the way, apparently they're an item.
Oh wait, Stacks and Ariana.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good for them. Good for them. No, that's awesome. I will say with Carly, because again, we say a lot on TwitWoW. We don't want anybody to fail. We want everybody to succeed. The vignettes, though, and again, I am being serious about this. The vignettes and what they convey about her, some of the worst vignettes I've ever seen. Like, and then that, like, there's a difference between vignettes of ultimately failed prospects when the vignettes kicked ass.
Dude,
Like,
like Kizarni, the best
because
vignettes ever.
yeah, Kazarni, I like the Mordecai and the Sean O'Hare
Sean
vignettes. Like,
O'Hare, yeah, the Devil's Advocate character, yep.
yeah, yeah,
Dude, they
like,
gave him Roddy fucking Piper as a manager. Jesus Christ.
dude, I know, I
How
know.
unteachable do you have to be to make that fail?
Well, oh, damn. I mean, yeah, that was a far more visceral than JBL telling Corbin to his face, "You can't polish a turd," and then just walking off.
I'm dude, I feel like in current day WWE, 100% Roddy would have done something like that with O'Hare.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, no doubt.
definitely. Um,
R.I.P. Sean
but
O'Hare, by the way. I'm not trying to be
yeah,
disrespectful to the
yeah,
dead or anything. Just,
absolutely.
just
Yeah.
trying to keep it objective here, not trying to kiss the ass of the dead either, to be fair.
No, certainly not, certainly not. But no, I don't know how well Carly will do, I guess as well as Sean's pencil tells her she'll do.
Right.
But,
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like it's really hard to be better than the pencil, but it's really easy to fall below it.
yeah, that is, you know what? That's the Ashton line of the year so far. I really like that. In fact,
Yeah.
I like it so much, I don't even really have anything more to say. Wendy Chu does get the win with a Cobra Clutch like submission. Such a
Yeah,
stud.
dude. I love that she won with a submission. This is such a cool twist for her.
Because, yeah, just like she twisted Brinley Reese. And, like, yeah, submission makes sense because if her whole thing is sleepy time gimmick, then it's time for sleepy time for everyone else. Yes! We need to hook her up with a mic so she can do exactly that so I can pop every time she does it. Shh, shh. And I'm like, yes, my psychopathy eats. But, but,
She has one of those headset mics, but she also has like a little switch like in her onesie pocket so she can turn it on at the exact time that she's about to start shushing.
yeah, I mean, look, I'm just gonna ask pro wrestling to keep giving me characters like this so that I don't have to seek help. It's a lot easier for all of us. So I want to thank NXT for
Men
giving us.
would rather watch pro wrestling than go to therapy.
Damn right. Um, did it once, got ableism, didn't want to do it again. So
Oh
we have Cody
no.
Rhodes visited NXT. Fuck Cody
Oh
Rhodes.
my god, I hated this segment so fucking much.
I know it's not fair. I know it's not fair, and I know it's a John problem.
Bro, I want to hear what you have to say, but I have something then too. Please
No,
go.
please, please, sir. I've taken the floor so much.
Oh
Please,
my
what were you
god.
going to say?
Can we just address the fact that a white man wrote for a black man to invite a Homelander looking motherfucker to the cookout?
Thank you, because you beat me to it. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Although I'm glad you put the emphasis on Shawn, because I was gonna put the emphasis on the Trick character, but you are so right. Fuck Shawn Michaels for this.
Yeah.
Fuck Shawn Michaels for this.
It's unbelievable. Cause like, what is Trick gonna do? What is he gonna be like? I don't think this is a good idea for the culture and risk getting depushed and potentially fired. No, he doesn't have that kind of fucking pull yet. He's in NXT. Come on. Like, no. He's gonna do what he's told, and he's gonna fucking maybe wait for a few years until he actually has some fucking pull in the company like Roman does, and maybe then he'll be able to start standing up for himself. But right now, there's no fucking way. Are you kidding me? This is
God,
entirely a Sean and a Cody problem too, because Cody's part
I,
of the shit too. Cody does
I,
have that pull. Cody could have fucking nixed this. He could have easily vetoed it.
Yeah,
But his
but
ego would never allow it.
remember, he believes that he defeated racism, probably, maybe. So, I don't want to turn this into like a
I
video
love
essay
Alex
style.
Foster in chat. As a black man, I'm revoking Cody's invite to the cookout from Trick.
Yeah. Well, no, because like I don't want to make this like a video essay type thing. And you know that I always stress when we talk about the black experience or black issues, we have Javaris, we have Dom, we have DBK, we have Foster, we have black fans of our podcast, and I'm always endeared by them. Sean, who I fucking love. Sean, if you go back and listen to this, love you, brother. And so because we're both politically leftist, talking about the black experience is essential, but I always do it with care and with mindfulness of, who's listening. All of that being said, and forgive me, everybody, because I know especially Javaris and Foster are here. This just shows me that regardless of the progress that WWE has made with black wrestlers, and there's definitely been progress made, you can tell that there's still no fundamental respect to me for black culture or the kind of, language used in that culture or things like that. Because when I think about the fact that, sure, I'm sure there have been white people, quote unquote, invited to the cookout, that's a huge deal to me because it's
Dude,
like, you you're actually, no, I don't wanna step on you because I wanted to fit, but what did you wanna do you wanna
no,
say something?
it's just incredible how close to Homelander Cody has literally become. Because tell me, I dare you to tell me that this couldn't literally just be a scene out of the boys, except instead of Trick, it's A Train, and instead of Sean, it's one of the fucking dickhead producers in a movie.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, and it's I don't want to be too visceral again because I don't have the black experience, fucking obviously. But I just look at it as when you invite somebody to the cookout, quote unquote. I've always taken that to mean we see you as an ally, we see a true one. We see you doing the work. We trust you. We feel safe with you. That's a huge fucking deal. And to use it as a throwaway line of like, "Hey, Cody, you want to go?" It's like I don't know, man. I wasn't vibing with it. I wasn't feeling comfortable with it at all. And it's not. Here's the thing, sir. There's nothing wrong with what Trick said. What's wrong is that Shawn Michaels wrote this,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
it
like
just
we don't
felt
have a
like,
problem. We're not trying to like say anything bad about Trick. Trick's just doing what he's told. Like
yeah,
Trick is basically in a completely powerless position here. He is basically Shawn Michaels' puppet at this point. Like he's doing what Shawn Michaels tells him to do, for the idea that if he doesn't, he might risk losing his job or his push or whatever the fuck.
yeah, like, like, fuck, fucking no. To me, this is a white guy trying to give another white guy unearned street cred or some shit like that. That's how it comes off to me. But if you want to earn the respect and the camaraderie, everybody's like flummoxed right now. But, like, no, if you wanna earn the camaraderie and the trust and everything of black people, fucking show up for them. Fucking advocate for them and give them the platform to advocate for themselves. And when I say advocate for them, really what I should say is amplify the shit that they're already saying. You know, do the goddamn work. And I'm sorry, but, like, Cody strikes me as, like, that quintessential liberal ally that says all the right things but has never really done the work. Um
Yeah, the exact problem that Dr. King would have had a problem with.
Exactly, like, Cody strikes me more as the white moderate rather than saying with his whole chest, like, "Black lives matter," or "by any means necessary," or anything else, which we have said regularly on this podcast, because if you were to tell me tomorrow that, fucking gun ownership of Black Americans shot up and then the NRA and Congress started to panic, I'd be like, "Good for you guys.
Yeah,
Good for you."
yeah.
Like, yes, absolutely, because fuck the KKK, fuck the police, fuck all of that. You think Cody's ever going to say that? Dude, this guy will criticize Logan Paul 1 minute and then join a Prime partnership the next because we saw them shaking hands. This dude,
And
as
by the way,
Roman
did you
Reigns,
see what Logan Paul did this week?
what did he do this week? Oh, yeah, it didn't. Well, I know LA Knight swam in his pool, but what did Logan Paul do specifically?
Shook hands and got pictures taken with Trump.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. So yeah, oh God, yeah, that's just no. I could never hear Cody say with his whole chest, "Fuck the police" or "Don't trust the police," or even I couldn't even hear him say defund the police.
No,
And doing
Cody
that
is
kind of
100% on Joe Biden's side of like, the problem with the police is that they're not trained well enough. We shouldn't be defunding them. We should be funding them more so they can get better training.
exactly. And so this whole segment. I mean, the dude has an American flag. I mean, dude, you have said, okay, I may not be quoting you exactly, but I feel like you have said that like the tattoo that he got, that aesthetic is so like Proud Boy adjacent and stuff like
Yeah.
that. The fucking neck tattoo, like,
Dude, Cody
yeah,
literally Cody merch just screams white supremacist, every bit of it, and it's because of the tattoo that he chose to get, that he chose to make a symbol of himself.
yeah. I mean, this to me just feeds Cody's narcissism. And it just like I hate it. I'm sorry. I feel so bad for Trick. And but seeing again, this is why we have to remember always, always. I don't care how much better the booking has gotten, because underneath at the core, WWE, like any other corporate entity in America, is a white supremacist institution.
Yeah.
And it's going to serve white interests, and it's going to position whiteness as favorable, not antithetical to blackness. Because if we actually see whiteness for what it is, as a socio-political concept, we see in all of its starkest terms as a threat to black liberation, black security, black safety, and it's up to corporations to make whiteness more palatable to blackness and vice versa. It's again, it's that moderate position, and yeah, um, oh God, Foster, no,
He's
that
not
was more
wrong.
than
He's not wrong. That's the thing.
he he's not and I swear to God, if somebody ever does do that, I might just risk COVID and any other pathogen that'll exist when that happens at the rate that we're going, just to punch that dude in the fucking face. But no, this is why.
Be sure to
Look,
sanitize your fist afterwards.
oh, absolutely. But this is why if I can like connect, and I know it's kind of disparate threads, but I said this a few weeks ago. This is why Tyson and Tyreek, their vignette, when you want to talk about good vignettes, this is why their vignette almost made me cry, because the idea of these two guys, because let's remember how black men are looked at. Black men are looked at as hyper animalistic, hypersexual. There is a whole history of the caricaturization and the stigmatization of black men and their bodies. And you've got Tyson and Tyreek, who are these jack dudes, who are dudes that can mess you up in a wrestling ring. And one of them is studying fucking medicine, and the other one gives back to his community regularly. These are people that black wrestling fans, need and deserve to have on their television screens. And Trick fits that bill. I'm not trying to take anything away from Trick, but then to try and make it seem like Cody is just down with all that, like, come on, man.
That makes it that much more heartbreaking though that they I don't think have won a match yet on NXT.
No, well, they did win that one match, but it was because fucking the family did that fast count because they beat a no quarter
Oh
catch
right.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, like it just we need to have a serious conversation, and it's a conversation that we've needed to have and have had at least on here, but we need to continue to have, because no matter how much a Bianca Belair or a Trick or an Oba or whatever gets pushed, we need to still see the mechanism still at play by and large for a lot of black and just non-white wrestlers in general. This wasn't about Trick. This was about Cody. The only thing that was about Trick was letting him know about the Battle Royal. I thought this segment, the more we talk about it, the
Dude,
more distasteful I really see it.
do you know what
And
I
yeah,
love the most though about this segment?
what's that?
It's that it didn't draw ratings at all. Cody got
Good.
a Cody got heavily advertised. We saw it on Raw. I think we might have even seen it on the SmackDown previously. At the very least, though, I know we saw it on Raw the night before. Cody was advertised to be on NXT, and the ratings weren't shit. Cody didn't draw shit in the ratings. I fucking love it.
Yeah, yeah. Don't come to the cookout.
No,
Fucking hell. And you know what? Like,
Cody's
I don't.
segment, I think, let me actually see if I can find this again. Yeah, so the segment that popped ratings for NXT, uh, it was the third quarter hour that really had the biggest spike in ratings, which ironically enough had two ad breaks during it, and everything that happened in that quarter hour, it was the end of the six-man tag. It was the Malik Blade, Idris Enofe, Brinley Reese backstage angle, and it was a little Sol Ruka like vignette type thing. That quarter hour popped ratings in a major way, and then the way it went up even more for Wendy Chu versus Brinley Reese, Roxanne Perez, Robert Stone angle, and the beginning of the Cody angle. And then by the end of the Cody angle, ratings dropped just a little bit. Like literally between the big pop and the Cody angle, and then by the end of the Cody angle, the increase was like 7K, and then by the end of the Cody angle, they dropped by like 100K.
Jesus Christ. Um,
But
yeah, I mean,
regardless, Cody still, like, my main thing is you would think Cody Rhodes, the literal face of the company, being on this show would have popped the overall viewership to a point that's like above what you expect in NXT. And this week's episode of NXT was viewed by fewer people on average than last week's NXT that was main evented by Trick Williams and Ethan fucking Page.
yeah, oof, oof, Jesus.
So like Cody, as far as a TV ratings draw, didn't do for NXT what Becky Lynch did, and didn't even do for NXT what the fucking Judgment Day did. So like Rhea Ripley slash Dominic Mysterio did better for NXT's ratings than Cody did, and I think that's fucking hilarious.
Honestly, just because you know that I actually do like Dominic Mysterio to a decent degree, you saying that he did better for NXT ratings than fucking Cody Rhodes makes me just excessively happy.
Dude, right?
Uh,
It's so
yeah,
funny.
yeah, like, and the thing is, to even just reframe this, if you had to use Cody interacting with Trick, why couldn't we just make it all about Trick? Because see, I think the one thing on a more basic level that I didn't like about this, it still felt like this has got to give Cody a rub, and it's like no. Trick is the champion.
Yeah.
Trick is like the future. Trick is the guy. Like if Cody would have just come out and said, you know, I've been watching you on NXT, and I've got to say that you are everything that that world title should be about. I and everybody here are so proud of you, and we look forward to your next defense, which will be determined by. And then you know you do the thing, and then you leave. But no, you just had to make it this whole thing. It's like, oh fuck you, Sean. But yeah, so that
Dude,
was that.
can you imagine though if like 2005 John Cena showed up on WWECW and the ratings didn't fucking budge, and if anything went down?
Oh god, dude. Oh
Because that's basically
god.
what happened here. Like Cody Rhodes, fresh off of being coronated, literally like 2 months removed from his coronation, shows up on the developmental brand, and the ratings actually went down instead of up. Like that's hilarious to me. I'm sorry.
God, and you know, like I'd say Vince back then would have panicked, but he's such a fucking narcissistic piece of shit too. He would have been like, "Well, the only thing I gotta do is put the ECW title back on myself to teach these people to like what I like. Damn it." And so yeah,
Yeah, like it's crazy because like I feel like Ethan Page was getting credit last week because I think that like the like ending of the show involving him and Trick Williams had a really good rating. I'm starting to wonder if it's just Trick. I'm starting to wonder if Trick is just a fucking ratings draw, honestly, because I feel like all of
which
his segments get really really good ratings.
good for him. And dude, if he could just polish that talking just a little bit,
Dude, I
man.
honestly think it's a confidence thing. Like he
Yeah,
projects confidence, but when he's on the mic, I think he needs more confidence on the mic. I really think that's what it comes down to because he seems really unsure of himself when he talks. I think that that's the
yeah.
main thing that needs work.
Once he believes it, because we're already believing it, and the numbers clearly believe it, ain't nothing gonna stop that dude. Ain't nothing gonna stop that dude, and
Yeah,
I'll be so
because
happy for him.
yeah, because you look at the Ethan Page segment last week and the Cody Rhodes segment this week, and what do they have in common? Trick fucking Williams, and they were both the
Yeah,
highest rated segment on their respective shows. I would. It's way easier for me to believe that world champion Trick Williams is a bigger draw, is a big enough draw to pop ratings than Ethan fucking Page, the new guy, and you know Cody Rhodes, who like yeah he's the face of the company, but like he didn't. It's not like the ratings moved up when he showed up, you know.
yeah, yeah. Fucking Ethan. Um, so looking at the rest of NXT
Also,
here.
I don't know if you knew this, but they did a fucking tongue-in-cheek AEW reunion backstage.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, so I mean, you know how I mentioned that Lexis King and Eddie Thorpe and Sean Spears all won their respective matches?
Yeah.
After all that happened, we had a backstage segment where Cody Rhodes ran into Sean Spears, and then Ethan Page and Lexis King also showed up, and all four of them were standing there kind of side by side, and it was like this cheeky like we were all in AEW a couple years ago.
Christ.
And there was an image posted on like social media that they were all four of them like pointing at each other like doing the Spider-Man meme.
Oh God, they're
Yeah,
so old.
and lame. You forgot lame. And white
That's
too. That's another one.
oh God. Leave them out in the sun where they belong. Um,
But
fuck.
melanoma, John. Melanoma.
Yeah, Mela, no more of this shit on my screen, please.
Holy
Uh,
shit.
yeah, I fuck them. Speaking of skipping Lexus King, skipping Eddie
I mean, dude, you
Thorpe,
want to skip Lexus King, but at the very least, we should acknowledge that after Dante Chen beat him 2 times in a row, fair and square, the one match that they have Lexus beat Dante, WWE's first ever Singaporean wrestler in, is a fucking Singapore cane match. Gross.
does it really surprise you that the same guy that wrote a black guy inviting a white guy that's way too into himself to the cookout would also be pro cultural appropriation in the worst way?
Does
Like,
it surprise me? Is the wrong question to ask, because obviously, no, I predicted it happening beforehand in a please don't let this happen, but it's probably going to happen kind of way.
yeah.
Does it gross me out? Is the correct answer, is the correct question to ask, and the answer is yeah, it fucking does.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty repulsive.
It is.
Um, I'm just dead inside to most of it, honestly. I'm amazed I even felt that much about Cody being invited to the cookout, but it's him. Like, just dude, he walks in there. I just picture everybody doing that group turn, you know, they do in the movies where they all stare at you simultaneously, but they're staring at the tattoo. And they're just like, they look at Trick and they're like, "Are you sure?" It's like he's fine, he's fine. And then all Cody has to offer is unseasoned potato salad. Jesus Christ. So,
Good
oh yeah,
lord.
Sean Spears beat
You just
Evans. So that
know
was
Cody puts raisins in his potato salad. You just know.
oh
Did you hear my
God,
mom? Bro,
dude.
unprompted, my mom went, ew.
No, me and your mom are on the same page on that. No, me and your mom are on the same page on that because that is honestly just for me personally, because you know how much I love food. That is the most hideous thing you've ever said on air. And like if you weren't right, I would demand an apology from you, but you were right, so I can be like as fuck.
I'm
So
so sorry for being an observant asshole.
I love you, and we're gonna make it past this. It's gonna be a lot of work, mainly on my end to not be so petty, but we'll get past this.
Yeah,
But
no,
no,
Super Blue is also right that the Lexus King Dante Chen match is where the ratings dropped.
yeah,
And then we had
yeah,
like JC Jane backstage and Cody hands her his old undashing mask.
yeah. Oh yeah, that. You know what, man? Just to be fair and just to keep it honest, I did kind of like that moment, honestly.
I
A,
it
a
would be endearing if JC was a baby face, but she's literally a heel and she's going to use that mask in a dastardly way. And Cody's supposed to be the face of the company. What the fuck?
I mean, but he is the politician of the company. This is why we need Roman Reigns back. Roman Reigns told us the truth the whole time. Now, sure, at times he did it in ways that were deeply uncomfortable, like systematically abusing Jey Uso. But when we look past that, he was the most honest champion we ever had. Bring back Roman Reigns, baby. We need truth tellers as champions because Cody Rhodes ain't cutting it. Um, and so yeah, yeah, I don't even know. Oh yeah, so Sean Spears beat Evans. In case you were wondering if this episode of NXT was for black people, like at all. Um,
And I don't think Obafemi was on this show at all, was he?
no, because he fucking looked at it and he was like, I'm nah, catch me next week. Uh, Jesus.
It's like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. But if you don't, they're staying the fucking home.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, goddamn. So that sucked, and
Oh
then
wait, no, you skipped over Eddie Thorpe beating Tavion Heights, another black man who's more talented.
no, see, that's true, but I did mention that Thorpe
Oh
Taylor. I was just giving the road because, to be honest, I feel nothing for Eddie Thorpe, and I don't want to
no,
like.
I feel nothing for Eddie Thorpe too, but I'm still upset because Tavion Heights is the shit, and I love him, and I want him to win more.
Yeah, he is pretty great, dude. This is why we need a union. But if we're not gonna get a union, can we just get an affirmative like black faction of like all these talents being like, look, we have nothing in common, but like fuck white supremacy and fuck these booking decisions, and they just feud with Shawn Michaels the entire time trying to get him back in the ring, and then when they get him back in the ring, they just take him the fuck out,
Yeah.
and then it's
But then I
okay.
will say though, after this match, No Quarter Catch Crew were backstage, and dude, this was so fucking awkward. Who is okay? I know Charlie Dempsey and I know Damon, I forget his last name. The
Damon Kemp,
Yeah, Damon Kemp. I was gonna say the superior Stevenson. What's the name of the third guy?
Miles Bourne, I think.
Miles. Thank you. Charlie told Miles, "Go get Tavion," and Miles is just like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right." And he just stood there, and he was like, "No, seriously, go get him." And he was like, "Yeah, okay, fine, I will." And he still just fucking stood there. This was such a confusing segment. I didn't understand where they were going with this. I was like, it's very clear to literally everyone watching that Charlie wants Miles to go and talk to Tavion Heights and be like, hey man, Charlie wants to see you, and bring him back to Charlie. And Miles just didn't seem to like register that that's what was going on. And so like Charlie had to literally spell it out for him, like, go get him and bring him to me. And like basically shove him off camera to get him to do it. It was fucking weird.
I mean, bro, don't feel bad if you were confused. Clearly, Miles was more confused than any of us.
It's true
Uh,
though. It's so true.
yeah, okay, so I want to be very careful what I say here because I'm not trying to absolve this person or trying to say like, oh, they should bring him back. But No Quarter Catch Crew has been weird since Gulak left, and they've like formally just said like, oh, Dempsey fucking hired the family to put a hit out on Gulak, and now like he is leader. If you're trying to tell the story of Dempsey trying to find his footing of being leader, I'm open to that. It's just it's kind of weird how they're doing it. I don't know, because at first, remember when he was like a few NXTs before this, where he wanted to be more like fucking the family, and Tony D'Angelo.
Miles is deaf?
Yeah, yeah, Miles is deaf. Yeah, that's true.
That
Um,
makes it make so much more sense because I genuinely didn't know that about him at all.
yeah. Yeah, Foster even said, "I didn't even know where that Charlie fucking asked Miles if he could hear him." And Miles is deaf, so that makes things especially bizarre. Yeah, no, I agree.
What a weird fucking segment, man. I didn't know that Miles was deaf. That's actually incredible.
I
Jesus.
wonder if I should go back and watch this segment just so I can justifiably say, like, this was my WTF moment of the year. Because what were they trying to do here?
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe you should, because maybe then maybe I mean, either it's one or the other is going to happen. Either you're going to be like, yeah, what the fuck segment of the year, or you're going to be like, oh yeah, well no, it was they were doing a thing with him being deaf. Like, it makes sense actually. It's not a what the fuck moment at all.
yeah, I'll fucking, read the tea leaves. I'll be like, no, Ashton, you missed the deeper meaning of the segment. Duh. And then you'll be like, I'm sorry. Like, fucking, but no, it seems pretty
I mean,
straightforward.
because here's the thing, like, God, this is actually strange because I like I said, I didn't know that Miles was deaf, but like, my aunt is currently dating a guy who's mostly deaf, and like, I can fucking relate to Charlie on this because when you're
Yeah.
trying to talk to the guy that my aunt is dating, sometimes he will like nod his head and smile and act like he heard you, but then it turns out that you actually asked him a question and he didn't know that because he didn't actually hear you, but he got so used to nodding and smiling as if he heard you because like it's like a part of masking when you're deaf because you just don't want to just keep making the situation uncomfortable by saying what? Huh? What? I didn't hear you. So you just kind of learn to go with it. Um, and it's also like irritating because it's like I asked you a question, but like you didn't hear me, but you don't realize that I asked you a question because of the fact that you didn't hear me. So you just kind of nodded and smiled. I kind of understand where this is going now. I feel like I'm reading the tea leaves on my own now because of the fact that I can fucking relate.
Yeah. Also,
That's wild.
just a tangential point. This is why I fully encourage K through 12 education to include, even if only as an elective,
ESL, right?
ASL. Yeah,
Is
I
it
think
ESL or ASL?
ESL is a different thing.
Oh,
'Cause I
okay.
think ESL is for non-English speaking
I
people,
thought.
but ASL, of
Oh,
course, is American Sign Language. So
it's I thought it was English Sign Language, but it's American Sign Language. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think ASL should be a part of the public curriculum, my opinion.
Fuck yeah, it should.
Uh,
I wish I knew sign language. I'd love to teach myself at some point.
Yeah, you and me both. I'd love to know any other language but English, but as I say, hopelessly monolingual. So yeah, after this, we get Roxanne Perez for a State of the Women's Division address. Oh my god, this woman. I
Dude, this
should have
segment was so fucking awkward. I hated it.
damn, I really wish that that wasn't the answer here because I am really loving Roxanne. What was awkward about it to you though, since you actually saw this?
Nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
It was the main event of the show. It was literally the last segment on the show, and you could tell it was going to be the last segment on the show because of when it started. It started at like fucking 10 o'clock on the dot practically, and we know that they have an overrun, so it like was the over. It was pretty much the entire overrun, right? And
Yeah.
and like Roxanne talks her shit. Ava comes out, and there's almost like this implication that Ava has someone lined up for Roxanne. But then JC Jane comes out, and it's like, JC, you're a fucking heel. Go away. Roxanne's a heel champion. You're not supposed to be in contendership until there's a face champion. Go away. And then Lash Legend comes out. And it's like, what the fuck's going on here? Because it's not just Lash either, and it wasn't just Jasmine either, or it wasn't just JC either. It was JC with Jasmine, and then Lash and Jakara Jackson both came out together, and then Lola came out. So technically, Lash is a heel. As much as we love Lash, she and Jakara are heels. So we've got six, no, not six, five. We've got five heels coming out here to try and challenge the heel champion. And Ava never got to reveal anything. We just had these five women all come out. And it seems like Jakara and Jasmine aren't even interested in the title. They're just hyping up the women they came out with for the title. So it seems like we're either going to get a four-way, Roxanne versus JC versus Lash versus Lola, or we're going to get a three-way between JC, Lash, and Lola to determine the next challenger. I don't like either of those answers, though, because they're all fucking heels. I don't want a heel
Yeah.
versus heel women's title match.
No. I'm not really into that either, especially when I
I
think
feel like the one
yeah.
saving grace that we could get here, the one thing that could save all of this, is if Ava comes out and is like, you ladies kept interrupting me. You literally never let me make my announcement. The announcement being that I actually had someone already lined up for Roxanne, but because you all showed up, I'm going to let you all fight her for contendership. Here she is, and it's fucking Julia. And it's a four-way, and she just fucking runs roughshod over all of them. And she wins and gets to challenge Roxanne at Heatwave.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm
Because that
telling you, that's
allows
just
them to
yeah,
introduce Julia to the audience before her just immediately getting a title shot.
exactly. Yeah, because that's just the match I'm thinking about is Julia Roxanne. That's what I'm trying to get to. But yeah, maybe they are just building up Lola possibly because apparently this show ended with Lola kind of standing behind Perez looking at the title. And I'm even looking at this one photo with Lola looking at it and Perez just kind of clutching it like, no, mine. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
it's gonna
Alex in chat said, I think Roxanne's a great wrestler, but her promos are not engaging to me. It's again kind of like what I mentioned earlier about it being like almost uncanny, like with Carly Bright. It's almost uncanny because Roxanne's promos, it's like if you close your eyes, it's just AJ Lee. It's literally just like late late run AJ Lee promos to the T, like exactly like verbatim, word for word, like even down to the delivery. It is exact same style as AJ Lee. It's wild how exactly the same it sounds. I mean, I think
yeah.
Roxanne has a little bit more of an accent. Like you can tell that like there's a little bit more going on there than AJ Lee did, but it's still just so much the exact same in terms of tone, in terms of rhythm, in terms of even voice. She has a very similar voice to AJ Lee, even. It's like
Yes. Yes.
spot on. It's crazy.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, that's pretty much NXT, y'all. So I guess I will just ask Ashton anything from AEW you want to talk about this week, or can we just move on to opening up the
Ooh.
forum for questions?
The Owen Hart tournament has a few people announced for it so far. I'm not paying any attention to the men's. I don't give a fuck about any men in AEW other than Swerve, who, like, my passion for him has even dwindled pretty goddamn far. Um,
Yeah.
but for the women, I know we've got Soraya is in the women's Owen tournament. Um, Willow, Statlander, um, Mariah May, and I'm forgetting one person. Fuck, who is it? Um, Sheeta. Sheeta just got announced.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the five. That's the five. And that's why I forgot
Okay.
because it's brand new and I was thinking it was an older name. Yeah, so that's the five. As far as actually like Watching the show, I haven't at all. I haven't paid attention to any AEW shows at all this week. The only reason that I know all the stuff as far as like the women that have been announced is because of like talking to people who have basically. So,
Fair enough.
I know that Diana Perrazzo faced Thunder Rosa tonight on Collision, so I'm sure that was cool. I wonder who won that match. Actually, I'm gonna look real quick. Diana actually beat Thunder Rosa, so I'm guessing that's gonna translate to Diana being in the Owen. I don't know if Thunder Rosa will be, but I'm assuming that because she won that match, she probably will be. We'll see.
Yes.
I'm not gonna drag it out any further though. I'm done.
All right, let's open up the forum for questions about this week in the world of wrestling. So yeah, anything you guys want to know or thoughts
Hit us
on?
with your best cues.
Foster right out of the gate with the first one. Normally it's Caster, but Caster followed immediately behind, so that figures. Do you guys think Tavion will accept a spot in No Quarter Catch Crew?
I sure hope so.
I hope so too. But I'm inclined to say no. He's probably gonna have some babyface spiel about how that's not the right way, and then they're gonna feud. But I would just like if Tavion was like, hell yeah. So
I would
we'll
love
see.
it if he got to wrestle each member of No Quarter Catch Crew one on one.
That would be cool. I would like that.
I want
Yeah, do
Tavion
like
versus Damon one on one for sure, and I'm sure Tavion versus Charlie one on one would slap too. I don't know enough about Miles to really desire anything involving him, honestly. So
yeah. All right. Next question from Caster. With the rise of Kaiser, do you think he will eventually betray Gunther? Um, not for a good
maybe,
while.
yeah, like eventually is a strong word because like that could mean 10 years from now, and like if we want to go there, yeah, eventually. But I agree with you,
Yeah.
John, that it's like not anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't see it happening this year. I don't even see it happening next year either. I'd say the earliest would be 2026 for me, but you
I
never
would
know
go
with pro
farther
wrestling.
than that, even like 27, 28. Like, yeah, I feel like it's going to be a long time. I think, let me put it this way, I think that we will see at least one, maybe even two more iterations of Imperium before Kaiser or and Gunther are separated.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 1,000%. Um, all right, next question. Well, we gotta wait for the next question. So, any more questions, guys?
Super Blue did say that Shingo Takagi is in the men's Owen tournament, and I did see that already, and that is a true thing.
Yes. Yes. Okay,
Super Blue.
Cerebral actually with a question. Do you think Melo qualifies for Money in the Bank or gets sucked into the U.S. title picture? Cerebral, I think LA Knight's kind of monopolized the U.S. title picture for now. I think him and Logan, I mean, maybe that'll even be SummerSlam. Who knows? Maybe this is going to be a long build for them. I don't know. SummerSlam is still a ways away yet.
It'd be nice
But
if LA Knight was in the Money in the Bank ladder match, just as like a sort of filler thing for him to do before SummerSlam,
yeah, definitely.
because I don't expect him to actually win that.
I don't either. And to answer your more immediate question, Super Blue, I do think Melo is just going to qualify for Money in the Bank. I could see them having him in that match.
I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know how many people are going to be in Money in the Bank, and we already know Jay Uso is going to be one of the however many.
yeah,
They could do
yeah, it could be.
six. It could be six, and it could be like higher up in the card named guys. It could be like Jay Uso, Orton, Owens. Like it could be that tier of guys.
Yeah, it could be. It very well could be. And to kind of pack that in, because Caster Sales asked if we feel like Gable would end up in Money in the Bank and winning it. End
Maybe.
up maybe winning it? No way.
No way.
No,
No, yeah, no, he's definitely not going
no
to
way.
win it.
I love Gable to death, but you got to be realistic, and there's just no shot.
I just want to
Um,
vouch John does, in fact, love Gable to death.
I do. I mean, even with his toxicity, not only have I loved it, I've low key
Dude,
encouraged it. So
I love how
like,
you say not even or even with his toxicity, as if that's not making it better for you.
I mean, you don't have to tell on me that hard, but to be fair, I've already told on myself that hard. So,
There's no even. It's
um,
especially with his toxicity.
I mean, yes. Um, so Foster asks the question, any thoughts on Apollo and Corbin getting wrapped into the Andrade Legato feud? Foster, I'm gonna be
Man,
honest with you. I've kind of checked out of it, and it's kind of a shame because WWE is kind of pulling an AEW where they're making me care less about Santos Escobar, and that should never happen. Like, I feel like that's a cosmic crime to me because he's just so everything.
daddy.
Um, yes. But yeah, like I'm not really I don't It's not that you asked a bad question. It's just about the whole feud and all these parts. And now you're telling me Corbin's getting involved. That makes me care even less. Like, get Caillou off my fucking television. Um.
Are Corbin and Cruz gonna form a league of bald men?
Oh
Where's
God.
Bobby? Get Bobby Lashley involved.
It's the worst thing to happen to Scalp since I mean
Damn.
I have a yeah.
Ricochet should have stuck around just a little longer. He almost had it.
Ricochet is like, this is the push I've been waiting for.
Wrong. You know
Uh,
what though? Wrong brand. He's on Raw. These other guys are on SmackDown. Shit.
and that's why he's leaving. It's like you wouldn't
Dude,
trade me, so
that
I'm
is
out of
why
here.
he's leaving. He's gonna ask them to rehire him under the SmackDown brand.
Yeah.
Holy
That's his
shit.
last bargaining chip. I want to be with the Baldies. What? Apollo and Baron? Don't tell me you don't know what's
Up
going on. You're
and
making a faction of Scalp.
and Bobby.
Okay.
Don't forget Bobby.
Yes, and Bobby. Yes, yes. Okay. Yes. I'm in. Um, so yeah. Uh And so, yeah, I feel bad for Andrade and I feel bad for Santos because, I mean, you talk about Money in the Bank. Those are two guys that I would love to have with that briefcase, but that's not happening either. Uh,
Ninja Turtle
Caster, do you
ass.
think? Say that again, sir.
I was talking about Lashley. I said Ninja Turtle ass.
I'm so glad that I had you repeat it so that I could pop. Um, so Caster asking, do you think Solo will challenge Cody for the belt? I'm still convinced of
Do you
this. Yes.
know what happened with Cody and Solo after Cody's match today?
No, I did not.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to tell you about this. So after Cody retained against Styles, as Cody was leaving, like walking back to the tunnel, Solo showed up behind him and was clapping for him. And then Cody kind of turned and faced him, and that as they were facing each other, the Tongans snuck up and attacked Cody, and we got a 3v1 beatdown. But then Owens and Orton came out and made it an even 3v3. So we're probably getting that 6-man tag at Money in the Bank. So I guess I mean my whole spiel earlier about like we don't know what tier of guys is going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Probably out the window because I'm guessing that 6-man tag's happening on that show. So that means none of those guys are going to be in the ladder match.
Yeah, which sucks because I would have liked KO in it so that I could have had at least a fan campaign that I could really believe in. But
Wait, you
no,
don't
God
believe
forbid. If
in Jay Uso for Money in the Bank?
you already know my theories about Jey Uso winning the bank. I've said it two, maybe three times on this podcast. I don't think he's winning it. I think Wyatt Six is screwing him out of it. So that makes four times now. So you guys know I've quadruple committed to this.
But
Uh,
he's the betting odds favorite though.
yeah, well, fuck the gamblers. Maybe put it towards your child's college fund, you ass. So
Wow.
yeah. Everybody can get it right now because I just fuck Cody Rhodes. But no, I'm really disappointed that he didn't get thumbed throat. But
He
I
might
guess I'll just
have
have to.
actually. I don't remember.
Well, good. Happy wheezing, fuckface. Let's
I'm
see.
so glad I
Next,
said that just for that response.
let's see.
You popped my mom.
Nice. No more legitimate questions, so I'm gonna keep the gates open just a little bit longer, but we might be able to move on to high spots, low shots, which is Abel's favorite segment. I don't know if Abel's still here, but we love you, Abel. I hope you're still here. Um, so let us see. Wow, she's still going.
She is.
Uh, yeah, I hate him so much, and you know when I have hate in me that I am not afraid of indulging it.
Honestly,
Um,
Hateful John is the most entertaining John.
that is concerning, but also true. Yeah, I'm closing the gate, guys. All right, high spots, low shots. My low shot, God, so
You
many
got, you
options.
got her again. You repopped her.
Yeah, nice.
Now she's snorting.
Oh my God, Abel's not only still here, he's ready for his favorite segment. I love you with literally fucking everything. If Cody Rhodes is the embodiment of my hate, your existence, Abel, is the embodiment of my love and my ability to love and my hope to love. You are everything. God, you're fucking perfect. All right, now, whew, let us talk about this. High spots, low shots. Oh my God. I just want to give an honorary low shot to everybody that's not me that was on NXT this week because it was rough. Um, You know what? Honorary low shot to Shawn Michaels for thinking that writing your top black champion that's a genuine draw, giving a rub to your white world champion that should just be the top guy of the company and invite to the cookout and thinking that was a good idea. Yeah, honorary low shot Shawn Michaels. Um got nice golf clap. Thank you. I just heard that at the very end there. Um
Nice. I was
God
hoping it
Super
was
Bowl.
audible.
God, Super Blue, you know, you're a good dude. I really believe that, you know, you have a really good heart and you're a good person. I just hate to give you anything wrestling wise though, because you know they all LA Knight and everything. But you are right. It was a rough day for Chadius.
No.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you, Super Blue. I mean, this was Chad's best shot, and it just really did not go his way because he got too distracted by trying to tell Otis what to do. And Otis pulled a me, actually a much kinder and more chivalrous me, by saying, "Not only do you not tell me what to do, I'm helping Maxine. Fuck you." And you know he walked out. So I have a lot of feelings about this because I wanted let me finish. God damn it! I'm saying this. I don't think you people understand how much I really needed toxicity to prevail because, you know, I didn't feel like Chad was wrong, you know? People look at it from the outside and they say, "Wow, that's really awful," but they don't understand the method. Watch Whiplash
Holy
and you'll
shit.
understand. I have multiple times. He only wanted to help them and he just wanted the Intercontinental title. And Sammy just had to go and hug his wife in front of Chad, knowing Chad couldn't do that with his wife. And the man is a victim, okay? But yes, low shot Chad Gable, and I hate everything. You know what, Sammy? You should have gone for the fucking world title. This is all your fault. Fuck you. So who's
The
your low
first one was
shot?
better, man. You had so much vitriol in that first one. Holy shit.
What was
That
that?
was
Was that because it was to Cody? Because
no, no, no. The one that you did from Otis's perspective to Chad.
well, yeah, because
Holy
Otis probably
shit.
does have a lot of vitriol. I don't have
Holy
any vitriol towards Gable. He
That
didn't
was that
slap
was
me in the
Soldier
face.
Boy esque, man. That was Soldier Boy esque. You nailed the Soldier Boy fuck you on that one for sure.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I
Holy
don't have any
shit.
vitriol towards Chad. He didn't slap me in my face. I've loved Chad from the beginning. When he attacked Sammy in front of his wife, my first thought was he had to turn. He had a reason. I was that guy that rooted for Ambrose when he turned heel.
I'm
Uh,
sure he has his reasons.
yeah, and he did, and they were all legitimate. And I wish he would have just traded up to the Creed Bros before Clash because if he did, we would have a new Intercontinental Champion.
See, but now
Fuck.
you've got me popping myself again because first of all, I don't have shell shock. Fuck you. Okay.
Gable doesn't though. He doesn't have shell shock from what Sammy did to him. He's
Oh,
focused. He's dialed
okay.
in.
My low shot, you gave me the easiest layup in my life is AJ Styles because not only did he lose what I'm assuming is his last shot at Cody's title, but he said I quit and he got hit with the fucking stairs anyway. Holy shit, what a big fat L this man took today.
Ah, you know what? I've already just really enjoyed far more than I should being a piece of shit on here, so I'm gonna take it all the way. My high spot is Braun Breaker. You took out baldness that's insecure about being bald and Ricochet by power slamming him through a windshield, and you made Samantha cry
It's
and
true, he did.
leave the arena, which means that introductions took a big
I
hit in
think
quality.
you're actually even more right than you realize because I don't think Samantha announced for tonight's show for today's for Clash of the Castle. I think it was Alicia.
You took away
Or
the
no, you know
joy.
what? It was Samantha. Now that I think about it, it was. I'm sorry.
But you know what though? For the remainder of Raw, you took away the joy of thousands of people,
But we got
and I
Pat
have
though.
wait, what was that?
But we got Pat though, and Pat's announcements were incredible.
I mean, yeah, Pat's a good dude, but all of this to say that I have never been prouder of a shitbag in my life, and I just can't wait to see Braun Breaker continue to ruin the show. And honestly, you know, Pierce, this is your fault. Everything that's happened is your fault. How can you have such a fucking dome with nothing inside of it to know maybe I should have put Braun in King of the Ring? The man's in the right, a lot like Chad Gable, and we need to listen to them more. The only difference being Chad got his shot, and I can say with full certainty he took his eye off the ball. He really has nobody to blame but himself for Clash. He should have made different moves before then. Braun, though, Braun, he is taking everybody out, and they deserve it. So, oh, and yeah, Ilya thinking you're so cool with your I'm that old school gritty Russian type. Yeah, eat a spear and wheeze. All right, fuck yourself. I just want to see Braun ruin everybody, especially before Oba gets here, because then I know that's when the fun times are over, at least for Braun. And yeah, just easy high spot this week. So who is your high spot?
My high spot is also an easy slam dunk because it's Obafemi. He not only retained in a triple threat and had the match of the show at Battleground, but he managed to avoid the worst episode of NXT that I've seen in quite a long time. And for that, I mean, it's too easy. He's my high spot.
You know what? You're so fucking right. That was a beautiful pick. And yeah, yeah, I mean this was a far better episode of In Review than it had any right to be.
I
I
agree. It was a lot
genuinely
of fun. I really enjoyed this. Thank you for
I
topping me so
genuinely
many
was like,
times.
I don't know. I was kind of wanting to pull my pants down for the intro just to really signify that this could eat my ass, but no, like because it was NXT. But we really, man, you want to talk about getting blood out of a stone? God damn. I mean, and I have to thank our chat as well. I mean, there was so much charisma and handsomeness in it from each and every one of you. So thank you. For just improving the quality of, I don't know, existing because it's really painful sometimes right now in the world we live in. So thank you guys. So yeah, be sure to leave a like as you file out, subscribe with the bell notifications so you don't miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And yeah, join us Monday in the Discord for Raw. Hopefully it'll be a good show as we, go towards Money in the Bank. As far as our first proper recording, this week is going to be interesting. So how is it looking, Ashton? Because I know we don't do like the schedule pin tweets anymore. Do we just want to tell people to stay alert in the Discord and on Twitter as things come out? Or because I know Stardom will be doing it at 7 Thursday, right? Is that the
Yeah.
only sure thing we've got, or like what else is happening this week?
Current plan is Muddy Gold, Monday at 6, Tuesday at 6, Wednesday at 5.
Okay, so this
Or no,
okay.
wait. Is that this week or is that next week?
I thought that was next week. I thought that was next week.
Let me pull up our little Mighty Gold thread on our Discord and pull up the cute little post that I have. Um, oh, hmm. When didn't I post something recently that had? Yeah. Oh, you know what? You're right. You're 100% right. So no Mighty Gold at all this week. Our next Mighty Gold show will be not 2 days from today, Monday, but the following Monday. You're absolutely right. Thank you.
Yes, yes, I thought so. Thank goodness. Um, and yeah, yeah, guys. So we'll see you Thursday for Stardom then this week, and then should just be Saturday for in review at 10:30 as per usual.
Yes.
So we will see you guys then, and yeah, just have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy yourselves, be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in and peace out.